Welcome back to another episode. We are again somewhere next to Tali, and we sadly don't have any new unread messages, but that's not the problem. The problem is with Tali. Well, actually, it's not really with Tali. It's more like the Migrant Fleet kind of thing. And we got ourselves a Tali that needs an awful lot of help. So let's do this in the Raheel system and the orbit of the Migrant Fleet. A fleet of 50,000 craft holding over 70 million quarians. The Migrant Fleet is the largest array of spacefaring vessels in the known galaxy. Though quarians on pilgrimage have visited most settled worlds in the galaxy, few outsiders have ever stepped foot inside the quarian ships. The interesting bit about the ships is that this thing is just huge. Maybe they have some kind of microgravity in there. It's like a ball with thrusters on the end. Very interesting design. Actually, if you squint a little bit, especially this one down here, they look like the mass relays in a way. Very strange. All right, let's dock on that one. And who else do we go? Like Tali, T and T. T and we don't have another T. Okay, that's weird. Who would be the best to help our Tali in a situation like that? Like Tali has what does Tali have? His abilities: attack drones, AI hacking, energy drain, heavy pistols and shotguns. Okay, nothing too armor destroying in a way. Like we can fight drones, that's okay, but it would be nice to have something M and M. Do we have another M somewhere? Morden and Miranda usually. Then we got Garrus and Kran. Actually, why don't we just go with that might not be. Ooh, Tali and Zaid. With the Quarians, I actually want someone in the team that's more reasonable. So let's see, maybe we can go with I mean, I haven't gotten Miranda recently, so what does she have? Warp's good. Warp's really good. So let's just take her with us. So our level up has to wait a little bit. Tali is leveled up completely, and Miranda, we haven't done anything with her recently at all. So I mean, Slam is a really cool ability. I kind of just wanted to max out that one though. Kind of iffy. Anyway, if I do like, if I got 2 level ups, then I can just, I have to be very careful. 2 level ups. That's 4 points. What do I do? Okay, Miranda's training, squad health and squad weapon damage. That's actually very interesting. How does that actually compare? So, Miranda's coordination of the fire team gives an increased bonus to squad weapon damage. So, 15% for everybody. And squad health 7. And this one is more squad health. Alright, in this case we could go for Cerberus leader, but we are the leader here. Undo talent points over there. So, I think I could just go with Warp. And then what about this one? Incapacitating, after lifting a target. Okay. So this one is just an ability with slightly larger numbers. Lift duration goes up and slam force goes up, so we don't need to worry about that. It would be much more important to have a warp ability maxed out. And get the heavy warp in there. Like, what do we got? Your warp damage is hugely increased. And then we got increases the blast radius when warp detonates biotic effects. Radius 7 or 5. I mean, it already does that, right? Oh, the recharge time on the warp is not 9 seconds anymore. Now it's 12. So you deal more damage, but the reload's also higher. That's actually quite iffy. Wait a minute. Oh no, wait a minute. Usually it's 12. Okay, that is actually really good. That's actually really good. No, wait a minute. So this one is an interactable kind of warp. So you use this one to detonate some other biotic effects, like lift or whatnot. The thing is, how many times do we have? Actually, I don't have another effect there. Yeah. She and Jacob might actually be a good team. Or Jack, maybe. Anyway. Or maybe with the main character being an adept, that would be pretty neat. But in this case, we're going just for the heavy warp here. It's just best. Alright, so got that much done. And what about her weapons? An SMG and the Carnifex. Nothing else there. Of course, Tali, for some reason, is able to get a shotty, so we good. And I am still kind of missing another sniper rifle. But okay.
This is Talizora Vasnima Naraya, requesting permission to dock with the Raya.
Our system has your ship flagged as Cerberus. Verify.
After time adrift among open stars, along tides of light and through shoals of dust, I will return to where I began.
Permission granted. Welcome home, Talizora.
We'd like a security and quarantine team to meet us. Our ship is not clean.
Understood. Approach exterior docking cradle 17.
Captain Shepard, Talizora told me a lot about you. I wish we could be meeting under more pleasant circumstances.
Alright. Commander, not captain. Yes. I owe Tali a great deal. But yeah, let's just give him a little hint about our position. Actually, yeah, wait a minute. What's the difference between commander or captain? Why does he say captain?
I never actually reached the rank of captain. Technically, I'm no longer in the Alliance military at all.
You're the commander of the Normandy, responsible for the lives aborted. That entitles you to respect among our people. May you stand between your crew and harm as you lead them through the empty quarters of the stars.
Kila Salai. It's an old ship captain's blessing, Shepard.
Huh, nice. I owe Tali a great deal. Yes. I mean, she upgrades the ship, right? We came to help. Why is Tali on trial? Straight to the point. We came to help, yes. Do we want to be political, or do we just... We came to help? Yeah, actually, we did come to help, yes. How much did we actually owe Tali? I would say we came to help. Absolutely. Yeah, let's not overdo it, but yeah, we came to help.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Captain. We came as soon as we heard about the charges against Tali.
It's good that you did. There were already people pressing to try her in absentia.
What? Why? They never move that quickly.
They're charging you with bringing active geth into the fleet as part of a secret project.
That's insane. I never brought active geth aboard. I only sent parts and pieces.
You did what? Okay, wait a minute. What kind of option is this? Okay, what do we do now?
Let's deal with that later, Tali. What's our next step, Captain?
Technically, I'm under orders to place Talizora under arrest pending the hearing. So, Tali, you're confined to this ship until this trial is over.
Thank you, Captain.
Preparations got underway as soon as you arrived. The hearing's being held in the Garden Plaza. Good luck.
Alright, go to the hearing. Well, the hearing can wait. Wait. What's written on that? Interesting. Starship Corian's life ships, sure. Can I talk to... No, I can't talk to Tali. And also, I cannot move any abilities around, but alright.
You should speak with Admiral Xen. She's waiting for you up ahead.
Okay. Anything else?
You should speak with Admiral Xen. She's waiting for you up ahead.
Okay, a little smeary. Why is it smeary? And from what
I
side?
can't believe they're charging Tali with such a thing.
Are the smears on the inside pane or on the outside one? On the somehow on the inside one, okay. Either they cleaned it and it's just stains from the cleaning stuff, or not.
If Tali's can't even get a Quarian captain to stand for her, she's as good as convicted.
But also look around here. Like there are dust particles all over the place. I don't really know when was the last time there were like dust particles on in a world. Like look at that. For some reason you notice it in this ship a bit more than usual. Weird. So Shala Raan.
Talis Hearing, Normandy. I am glad you came. I could delay them only so long.
Auntie Ron! Shepherd Vas Normandy, this is Admiral Shala Raan Vas Tonbe. She's a friend of my father's. Wait, Ron, you called me Vas Normandy.
I'm afraid I did, Tali. The Admiralty Board moved to have you tried under that name, given your departure from the Nema.
The voiceover is also, well, one could say famous. It's voiceover of a politician in The Expanse. That was actually a really good one. Definitely. Also very interesting that The Expanse is also like spacefaring and whatever. It's very interesting. Also like a series about spaceships and yeah, galactic travel and whatnot. Very, very well done. Okay, so are you part of the trial? Why does her name matter? That's actually a really good question.
I take it being associated with the human ship is a bad sign.
They stripped me of my ship name. That's as good as declaring me exiled already.
It's not over yet, Tali. You have friends who still know you as Talis Hearing Nema. Whatever we must call you legally.
Actually, like, she still has a ship. If it's the Nema or if it's the Normandy, doesn't matter, does it? And are you part of the trial?
You're an admiral. Does that mean you're one of the judges?
I'm afraid not. My history with Tali and her father forced me to recuse myself.
I imagine father had to do the same.
You'll see inside, Tali. For my part, I moderate and ensure that the rules of protocol are followed, but I have no vote in the judgment.
One thing that's actually very interesting is that her aunt is an admiral. Or like one of the judges, and I think it's only admirals on the jury, I think. Yeah, the Admiralty Board. And why is she related to multiple admirals? Tali is not a normal Quarian. That's something interesting to note here. Anyway, we should go in for now.
I guess we should get started. Does Tali have a defense counselor? Someone who speaks for her side?
Indeed, she does, Captain Shepard.
Oh.
She is part of your crew now, recognized by Quarian law. And remember, an accused is always represented by his or her ship's captain.
So, you would actually speak for my defense?
Absolutely. This is unexpected, but I am, well, I'll be honored. This is a terrible idea, yes. Well, we have to maneuver that landscape now, do we?
I'll do everything in my power to help you, Tali.
Thank you, Shepard. I could not ask for a better counselor.
Our legal rules are simple. There are no legal tricks or political loopholes for you to worry about. Present the truth as best you can. It will have to be enough. Now come. I promised that I would not delay you.
Writing sludge all around.
This conclave is brought to order. Blessed are the ancestors who kept us alive, sustained us, and enabled us to reach this season. Kill us alive. The accused Talis Vas Normandy has come with her captain to defend herself against a charge of treason.
Objection! A human has no business at a hearing involving such sensitive military matters.
Then you should not have declared Tali crew of the Normandy, Admiral Koris. By right as Tali's captain, Shepard must stay.
Objection withdrawn.
Shepard Vas Normandy, your crew member Tali Zora stands accused of treason. Will you speak for her?
It is my pleasure. Yeah, it is my pleasure. Sounds a bit weird, but yes, I will.
If it helps Tali, I will. But in her heart, she remains Tali Zora Vas Nima, a proud member of the Migrant Fleet. I regret that our captain is forbidden to stand at her side today.
Nobody has been forbidden from anything. It is a simple...
Lie to them if you must, Zal Koris, but don't lie to me and expect me to stay silent. The human is right.
Admirals, please. Shepard's willingness to represent Tali Zora in this hearing is appreciated. Tali, you're accused of bringing active geth to the Migrant Fleet. What say you?
Well, she couldn't have done that. Ooh, we don't know anything, and we don't know if she's innocent or not. None of those options make any sense. Can I save at least? No, I can't. Anyway, none of those two options make any sense. We don't know if she actually sent any geth back or not. We haven't talked to her, right? I mean, we could just get a bad surprise after that. So, she's innocent. Depends. Innocent in probably in the way that she did not mean any harm and she did the best that she could, yes. But maybe not innocent in the way that there was geth being sent around. So technically she's not, but morally she is. So yeah, she couldn't have done that. This is definitely not it. She's definitely innocent.
Tali would never endanger the Migrant Fleet. She pleads not guilty.
I left parts and technology for teams to pick up. My father ordered me to do so, but I would never send active geth to the fleet. Everything I sent was disabled and harmless.
Then explain how geth seized the lab ship where your father was working.
What are you talking about? What happened?
As far as we can tell, Tali, the geth have killed everyone on the alarei. Your father included.
What? Oh, Keela.
Okay, so that is a change of events. We don't know what happened, and in this case, just discussing anything does not bring anyone forward. Look at her, she's stunned. This has nothing to do with that. There's a geth threat. This is definite. I mean, this whole discussion was about geth, wasn't it? So of course there's a threat. We've got a lot of nerve. Obviously he has. So yes, there is a threat, but we also need to help.
I appreciate the need for this trial, Admirals. But right now, our first concern must be the safety of the Migrant Fleet. The Normandy stands ready to assist in whatever capacity necessary.
Thank you. Quarian strike teams have attempted to retake the ship, so far without success.
Shepard, we have to take back the alarei.
The safest course would be to simply destroy the ship. But if you are looking for an honorable death instead of exile...
I'm looking for my father, you bastet!
You intend to retake the alarei from the geth? This proposal is extremely dangerous.
Well, we must. For Tali's sake? No, we don't. Well, in this case we do it for Tali, but actually, even if Tali would not be involved in it, we would still do it. If it proves her loyalty, it doesn't matter if it proves anything.
With your permission, Admirals, yes. The good of the fleet must come first. And Tali needs to find her father.
Agreed. And if you die on this worthy mission, Tali, we will see that your name is cleared of these charges.
We can discuss that later.
Then it is decided. You will attempt to retake the alarei. You are hereby given leave to depart the Raya. A shuttle will be waiting at the secondary docking hangar. Be safe, Tali. This hearing will resume upon your return, or upon determination that you have been killed in action.
Oh boy.
Thank you for agreeing to take back the alarei, Shepard. The Admiral sounds sure that my father is already dead, but I don't know. We won't know anything until we get there.
Are you alright? That's actually a very good question.
How are you holding up? They just threw a lot of fire at you, even before telling you about your father.
I knew this would be bad, but I guess you're never really prepared to be charged with treason. And my father, I don't know. He could still be alive. They don't know for certain that he's dead. I just don't know, Shepard, and I need to find out.
Yes, and we will, eventually. But should we talk to people first?
Is there anyone here you want to talk to before we go?
We can talk with the Admirals. It might help us to see what their viewpoints are. But I doubt we'll change anyone's mind by talking to them privately.
I mean, if it's it still helps in understanding the situation. And one of them will probably tell us a different story. Now, let's move on.
Let's go.
Right. The sooner we get to the alarei, the sooner we'll know what happened.
Shepard, the secondary docking hangar is through the conclave chamber where you are now. The shuttle they have provided is unarmed.
Understood.
Whatever geth are on the alarei have likely built more of themselves. Expect heavy resistance.
No problem there. We got overload and overload. Actually, we are pretty well prepared. So, let's see. Let's talk to...
Loyalty to the fleet is about more than just killing geth. Tali's is guilty.
Okay, it's nice that they want to talk about it. So, as if they don't have any personal problems, right? Veetor Nara. Isn't that the one that we saved?
Shepard? How did you get onto the Raya?
Shepard is here to help me with my trial.
Oh yes, I heard about that. I hope you didn't really do what they said you did.
No, Veetor. I would never endanger the fleet.
Oh, well, good. So, can I help you with anything? I mean, probably not, but you helped me.
Alright. Will you speak for that? This is not how this works. The idea is to present the truth and as much information in order to get the best decision possible, and not to side with the people just because you want to support them. That's not how that goes. Okay. Do we have more information though?
Do you remember anything else about the Collectors? Anything at all?
Nothing new. I'm sorry. Every time I go back to that place in my mind, I
Veetor, come back. It's okay.
I want to help, but I can't. I didn't see anything, and what I remember...
Don't worry, Veetor. We're going to find the things that did this, and we're going to kill them.
Good. Thank you.
Alright. And will you speak for Tali?
Tali could use some friends right now. Would you be willing to tell the Admirals how she helped you?
No, I mean, yes, but I already did. They came to see me. I didn't want to talk in a crowd.
Veetor is doing well, but he isn't ready for a public speech just yet.
I talked to them. So did that soldier, Kal Reeger. We both told them about how you helped us. I hope it helped.
I'm sure it did, Veetor. Thank you.
Interesting, but none of this has anything to do with the geth that she may or may not have sent. It's totally pointless. Anyway, I hope you feel better. Yeah, we should be going. Yes, we should, but...
Take care of yourself, Veetor. Not many could have gone through what you did and come out sane.
I know. I didn't. But thank you, Commander. It's only because of your help that I've come this far.
Aww. Alright, Admiral Xen.
Tali Zora, given the circumstances, are you certain that speaking to me is appropriate?
I'm looking for information about the alarei. I don't intend to bribe you in the middle of the plaza, Admiral.
Pleasure to meet you, Commander Shepard. We owe you a debt of gratitude for your actions against the geth.
Yeah, the previous and the current ones. Your Tali too. Well, do they? Okay. I mean, we don't know. What's your stance on Tali?
You didn't say much during the opening statements, Admiral.
There wasn't much to say. This trial is a waste of time.
It matters a great deal to me.
If you and your father were actually experimenting on active geth subjects, then you are simply idiots. No reason to waste resources on a trial. If not, then this was a tragic accident in the pursuit of a higher cause. Again, no trial is needed to determine that.
Interesting. So she's... in a way, she sees it completely pragmatic, and she's not against Tali in this case. Okay, so what about the lab ship?
Can you tell me anything about the alarei?
Little. We detected several communication signatures before the geth jammed the comm systems. Given the likely networked intelligence requirements for taking over a ship, expect between 10 and 50 units.
Then this can't have anything to do with me. I only sent parts and pieces, and certainly not enough to make that many geth.
Alright, and your opinion on the geth?
It sounds like your ideas about synthetics are in the minority.
Yes, at least on the Admiralty board, Gerrel sees an enemy that must be crushed. Koris would run away and hide on some new colony world. Shala Raan is still undecided. I had thought Rail to be firmly in Han's camp, but if his experiments were on active geth, perhaps we have ideas in common.
Okay. And how does this change things?
If we don't find Rael alive on the alarei, what do you think will happen?
The power balance will be disrupted. Han loses a vote for his foolish and self-destructive war. That would favor peace then, as Shala Raan is too careful to risk her own neck. But if the Admiral replacing Rael agrees with me, things could become very exciting.
Ooh. You think Rael was right?
You support experiments on living creatures?
Rael should have felt no more guilt experimenting on geth than I did while performing surgery on a childhood toy.
The fact that you performed surgery on your childhood toys explains a great deal, Admiral.
A ship travels faster than I can. With the right programming, it can choose locations, even defend itself when attacked. But it is just a machine. It was built for the sole purpose of serving its master, and it can be dismantled whenever its master desires.
Well, that's the idea of a ship. But when it comes to geth, it may depend on how the geth experience the world. Okay. So, lack of interest in the trial.
If you're not interested in this trial, why not recuse yourself?
And let that aging warship Gerrel and the cowardly Koris be the ones to chart this course? I think not. The broader purpose underlying the trial is too important. Tali Zora is only peripherally related. No offense intended.
And what is the true purpose of this trial, Admiral?
To determine whether Quarians should fear their past mistakes or reclaim their glory using our natural affinity for artificial intelligence.
Interesting. So you study AI.
So the only reason you care about this is because Rael might have learned something valuable from the geth?
Indeed. If he has, then even in this accident we may find something worthwhile.
You want to create new AIs?
No, Tali Zora. I wish to return the geth to the control of their rightful masters, the Quarian race.
You're insane.
It's an interesting idea, but in the end it would mean enslavement to a species. Actually, it would again put the geth in the same position that they were in before, right? And then it could induce or lead to another revolutionary thing. And then the Quarians will be exterminated again. Or like, yeah, for reals. So, let's see. That's all for now, at least.
Thank you for the information.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Commander.
Pleasure is mine. Where's Reeger? Over here.
Kal Reeger.
Shepard, Talis, good to see you both. Wish you were under better circumstances.
What did they get from our readings?
Damnedest things, just like they said. No way the sun on Haystrom should have been acting that way.
So that dark energy theory is right. That's troubling.
Can't really comment on that, ma'am. I just shoot things.
Alright.
What are you doing aboard the Raya? It sounds like you gave your report to the Admiralty already.
Well, I stayed to argue the charges against Talis. I've served with her, and she deserves better than what she's getting.
Thanks, Kal.
Just stating facts, ma'am.
Can you help somehow?
Have you had any luck talking to the Admiralty board?
Admiral Xen asked my opinion about the geth since I'd fought on Haystrom. She and Admiral Gerrel are hoping you'll kill a bunch of geth to get the crowd on your side, then find evidence to clear your name. They were hesitant, but, well, you didn't have many other options, ma'am. I recommended getting you onto the alarei. I hope you can handle it.
You did the right thing. Thank you.
That depends. Anyway, dark energy. What does this have to do?
You said that your mission had something to do with dark energy.
Right. Remember the damn sun on Haystrom? Shorted out everything. Way too much radiation? The sun's getting old. Only it's not. Dark energy. It's reducing the mass of the star's interior. Techs are worried.
Interesting. Did the geth do it?
Do you think the geth are responsible for what's happening to Haystrom's sun?
Keela, I hope not. If they can screw up a star, our chances in war are even worse than I thought.
I don't think this is the geth. It would take massive time and resources to affect a star like this deliberately. It's too inefficient to be a weapon, and even the geth wouldn't destroy a useful star system. Besides, they didn't show up until we did.
Yeah, hope you're right, man. Synthetic bastards are bad enough as it is.
And what if there's just some Element Zero in it? I mean, Element Zero is in here as a way to control the mass effect. In this case, making things more massive or less massive. So if a star becomes like less massive for some reason, which it usually doesn't, then maybe there's some Element Zero somewhere in there. That might be it. Anyway.
Do you think the geth are responsible for what's happening to Haystrom's sun?
Keela, I hope not. If they can screw up a star, our chances in war are even worse than I thought.
I don't think this is the geth. It would take massive time and resources to affect us. It's too inefficient to be a weapon.
Yeah, hope you're right, man. Synthetic bastards are bad enough as it is.
Anyway, we got that. Is this a big problem?
What does that dark energy buildup mean? Is it something we should worry about?
Sorry, Shepard, I don't know what it means. Just that it has the scientists worried.
Hopefully it's isolated, some rare phenomenon. If dark energy can destabilize solar material. Probably not something to worry about now. But resources in this galaxy are scarce enough without stars suddenly going dead.
Some days I think flying around in the fleet without a planet of our own is the right idea.
Alright, and your health, yes. Wasn't you shot?
How have you been, Reeger? You took kind of a beating on Haystrom.
Physical damage wasn't bad. I was down for about a week with infection, though. Figure I got off easy. I don't have to face those admirals.
With your immune systems, it couldn't be easy for Quarians to fight a war. You'd lose more people to infection than injury.
We can't afford a frontline attack, that's for sure. Have to fight smart. Ideally from orbit.
We do have stockpiles of antibiotics. It's not as though everyone would die from a single shot.
No, Shepard's right. You've only seen our strike ops, Tali. Don't have all the fancy equipment in a frontline fight. Supplies get strained. Things get ugly, fast.
Rhaegar knows.
We should get going.
Good luck on the alarei.
Thank you.
Stay safe out there.
So, do they have to say anything? They're just looking at stuff. Alright, so we got Veetor.
Shepard spoke well to the admirals.
Okay, did I know?
Talis and Nefari are out of control. This is on their heads.
Okay, sometimes you can trigger this
The
one.
human can work a crowd, I'll admit that much.
Thank you. So you go into and out of a trigger zone.
Loyalty to the fleet is about more than just killing geth. Talis is guilty. Shepard spoke well to the admirals. Talizora and Afara are out of the road. This is on their heads.
It's like 2 meters away, that trigger field. Interesting. Can we do anything around here? Looks like a little theater. Actually, it's quite nice. So, who do we actually talk to? Do we go through that gate? Okay.
You set me up, Shala. You told Captain Danna not to say anything? I don't hear that my father may be dead until I'm in the trial? Why?
The admirals needed to hear the shock in your voice, Tali. Otherwise, they might not have let you try to retake the alarei. That is your best chance at recovering evidence that can exonerate you. I am sorry. We cannot afford sensitivity, Tali.
Well, it's interesting, but in this case, they kind of used her. Like, the idea of information should be the higher goal here, and not some emotional theater play. Okay, I think as well as help. Are Tali's chances that bad? You went too far. Yes, definitely.
I know you're trying to help her, Admiral, but that was over the line.
She has nobody else to speak for her, Shepard. I am doing everything in my power. That's what her father would have wanted.
Don't say it like that. He could still be alive on that ship.
You should get to the alarei soon. Is there anything else I can tell you?
Yes, definitely.
What can you tell us about the alarei?
Not much, I'm afraid. Real Zora only said that he was researching new defense technology.
He told me only that he needed any geth parts or pieces I found. I assumed he was testing weapons on geth components.
We knew nothing until the alarei sent a distress signal, then went dead. We didn't even know about the geth until a boarding team was attacked.
So we have no idea then?
You're saying there's no data about the inside of the ship?
That's exactly what I am saying. The Marines who survived and escaped saw bodies in the halls. We must assume the worst.
No, we don't.
Okay. And what's your relationship with Real Zora?
How long have you known Tali's family?
Since before Real was an admiral. 25 or 30 years, I'd guess. I was there when Tali was born. Her mother and I had synced up our suits so we could be in the same open-air room. I was sick for a week, but it was worth it. I was the one who took Tali from her mother and put her in the bubble. She cried so hard.
Aww. What is that?
I don't understand. You put your children in bubbles?
Environmental units. It's a step between relying on the mother's immune system through nursing and getting a suit of one's own.
The bubbles let parents take their children out of the clean rooms safely. We don't wear suits until adolescence.
There's a celebration when a child gets her first suit. It's a coming of age.
I'm not hearing much about Rail's involvement in Tali's life.
It's difficult to explain. I shouldn't.
It's all right, Shala. No secrets between shipmates. I think I told Shepard about my father.
If you say so. Real was committed to the Quarian cause. That didn't leave him a lot of time for his family. He wanted to give Tali and her mother the home world, or a strong fleet at least. That was how he showed his love.
Interesting. Understandable, though. Alright, and what about the evidence?
What kind of evidence will carry weight with the admirals?
Tali, you admitted to sending geth parts to your father for his project.
Yes, but never anything that could have come back online on its own. I took every possible precaution.
Then find records of your shipment and experiments. Something that proves you were careful. Something that proves that this is all just a terrible accident that nobody could have foreseen.
Okay, so if it's just an accident, then what? Alright. And what about... Like, we need to get evidence for her innocence, right? But what the other evidence? That she's guilty. I mean, both of those are just stories for now. It's really weird. Anyway, What about the admirals infighting? What's going on there?
There seem to be some other arguments going on among the admirals.
You caught that? Yes, the geth's presence makes this a touchy issue. The Admiralty Board is trying to determine whether to focus on colonial development or attempt to retake the homeworld.
You're thinking of war? With the geth?
I am not, Tali, but others are.
Definitely not a good idea.
I know the Migrant Fleet is formidable, but even you can't take on the geth.
We grow tired of wandering the stars, Shepard. We want our world back. We have paid enough for our mistake. I'm not giving you my opinion. I'm telling you which way the wind is blowing.
The interesting thing is, before the geth took their world, the Quarians, well, were just like any other species living on a planet, or maybe living in systems, whatever. But by taking away that world, they turned the Quarians into what they are right now, a technologically advanced species. And that's actually very interesting. It's something that is actually, well, their greatest power, but also their greatest weakness. Them not having a world makes them have a world everywhere. They're not really seen in the most positive light, yes, but they are traders, merchants, providers of information and technology, and this is actually a very, very valuable thing. Let's see. And in this case, making them go back to their homeworld would be a big mistake. So, let's see. It's like clipping their wings. Not good. So, yeah, it's a bad idea, and we got all of that done.
We should move on.
Good luck on the alarei.
So, Admiral Gerrel. Anything else around here? Nothing that we can just investigate, identify, whatever?
I didn't expect a human to be such a good speaker.
Well, we got nice subwoofers, don't we?
Tali, I'm glad Admiral Raan got you leave to hit the alarei. Hopefully you'll find something that clears your name.
I'm more concerned with finding my father, Admiral.
I wish you luck. Blow up some geth on the way. And your Captain Shepard? Admiral Gerrel vas Nima. You got Admiral Koris backing up worse than a Krogan toilet. I'm glad to see Tali's captain knows how to handle a courtroom.
Thanks. Whatever works. So, you're on Tali's side?
I get the sense you're inclined to believe the defense. I'm glad one of the judges is.
If you were only giving Rail inactive equipment for weapons tests, I've got no problem. We need to test weapons against geth material. I know you and your father. You put too much of yourselves into this fleet to do anything to jeopardize our safety. And you're both smart enough not to make mistakes like the ones they're saying you made.
Okay, now let's start with the lab ship again.
Can you tell me anything about the alarei?
Nothing good. We sent some of our best Marines into that hellhole. Damn few made it back. Whatever Rail was doing, it blew up in his face. Our ship is crawling with geth. Don't go in expecting survivors.
Admiral, my father, your friend, is on that ship.
I know that, Tali. But if Shala hadn't suggested you might volunteer, we'd already have destroyed the alarei. That's where we stand.
Can it be that Gerrel has the same voiceover as Saeed? No. Anyway, and what about the other admirals?
Can you tell me about the other admirals? Anything that might help me change their minds about Tali?
The one you didn't recognize, Tali, is Admiral Xen. She's on the fence. She takes fleet safety very seriously. On the other hand, she's always been in favor of studying the geth. I hope she sees the benefits of Rail's research. Admiral Koris is the same whining suit-wetter he always was.
And what makes Koris so bad?
You disagree with Admiral Koris' policies, I'm guessing. Or is it personal?
The man is a damn geth apologist. Thinks we were wrong to try to destroy them centuries ago. He wants us to search for new colony possibilities instead of taking back the homeworld. Any research on the geth makes him angry. You don't have much of a chance with him, I'm afraid.
Interesting. So he's for the geth, and in a way also for the Quarians. So let's say, what about these three with Rael Sola?
You and Tali's father go back a long ways?
We served together on the gunship Yaska during a bad Batarian raid. We were kids, serving pre-pilgrimage as trainees. Crew of 10, and 6 were dead. Kinetic barriers were down. Rael and I were alone on the bridge, and the Batarians had drawn off a tramp freighter.
What happened?
Did you save the freighter?
Our ship was under orders to hold position, but Rael looked at me and said, "We're underage. They can't charge us for breaking formation." He took the helm, I took weapons, and we brought that freighter back. The crew called us heroes. The brass called us idiots. They slapped medals on our suits, then kicked us off to pilgrimage a bit earlier than usual. That's Rael for you.
Sweet. Alright, and what about the infighting of the admirals?
It sounds like we're dealing with more politics than just Tali bringing back equipment.
You noticed that, did you? Tali's father wasn't just running weapons tests on the geth for fun. He was looking for something to give us an edge when we attacked the geth in full-scale war.
I know Father wanted to retake the homeworld someday, but are we that close?
I don't know, kid. We almost had the votes. We just need to give people hope for victory.
They all want to fight. They all want to die for the greater good. But do they want to live? That's the question.
I hope the Quarian people find some place to live, Admiral. But it sounds like you're playing with fire.
We're too comfortable now, Shepard. We've got the largest fleet in the galaxy and we just ride around doing nothing.
We might need that fleet to help fight the Reapers, Admiral.
Then we need a world to shelter our non-combatants while we do it.
Wait a minute, didn't I?
I hope the Quarian people find some place to live, Admiral. But it sounds like you're playing
We're too comfortable now, Shepard.
We might need
Then we need a world to shelter our non-combatants while we do it.
So...
Thanks for the information.
Hang in there, kid.
Thank you, Admiral.
No interaction with Miranda for now. Very interesting. Maybe we should have taken Mordin, but... Any... No reactions there? Sometimes you get... Is it something about Shepard working the crowd? Let's try this again.
If anyone can retake the alarei, Talizora can.
Okay.
If Talizora is stuck with a human captain, at least it's an eloquent one.
Oh, we got fanboys or girls. Okay, like how far do we have to go until you can trigger that again?
Even during the hearing, Talizora's first thought is to protect the fleet.
Everything very positive.
I didn't expect a human to be such a good speaker.
Alright, so, and Admiral Koris.
Judging by your ability to play to a crowd, human, I have done Tali a favor by stripping Vas Nima from her name.
Commander Shepard, this is Admiral Koris Vas Quib. Do not ask about the name.
I take no pleasure in this, Tali, truly. But you have gravely endangered and dishonored our fleet.
What's Quib? Oh, come on.
Can you tell me anything about the alarei?
Only that you should have let us destroy it. When we find the evidence of what Tali and her father did there, any hope of convincing the other admirals will die.
I did not bring active geth to the alarei, Admiral. I know how dangerous that would be. I only brought pieces.
The captured ship with its crew slaughtered by living beings in pain belies your argument.
Interesting. So, Zal Koris' ship name. Yes.
You have a ship named Quib?
Oh, here we go.
Our people have, during difficult periods, purchased pre-owned vessels from other cultures. And have, on occasion, had difficulty altering the ship's registry information. The citizens of these foreign-named ships have borne the stigma of these names with grace and honor.
If it bothers you, maybe you should find another ship.
I've occasionally entertained the idea of requesting a transfer. Something with a nice, respectable name, like the Defrons or the Ictomy. But I am proud of the Quib-Quib, and I will not flee because of petty insults.
Alright, what about you and Tali?
What exactly is your problem with my crew member, Admiral?
I respect Tali immensely. Her actions against Saren are to be lauded. But, like her father, she wants nothing but the destruction of the geth. The people we created. The people we wronged.
The geth drove us from our homeworld.
Of course they did. We tried to kill them.
Ah, understandable reactions. Very interesting. It's very interesting to see some reasonable response in the Quarian populace as well. They're not just angry and like warmongers and hateful towards the geth. There are also some that see it from a different perspective. Alright.
You and the other admirals appear to have some disagreements beyond Tali's trial.
You are correct. Tali, I apologize for it being brought into your proceedings. The other admirals are pushing for war. Rael Zora was researching new weapons to use against the geth. They would see our fleet destroyed in the skies over our homeworld, rather than find a new colony and adapt.
You favor peace? Well, his idea for peace would be a bit different than all the other Quarians would think of.
Can the Quarians coexist with the geth after all your history?
I don't know. We all deserve to find out. They are our children, Shepard. We have all done horrible things to each other, but it has to end. For both groups. That is why I cannot sanction whatever experiments you helped enable, Talizora. I believe this message needs to be sent.
I understand, Admiral. I do not agree with you, but I understand.
Alright.
We should move on.
Goodbye, Talizora. Be well.
I'm surprised to hear you say that.
I don't hate you, Tali. I just think your father's plans for war were wrong.
Wow. Out of all of the admirals, it's like 3, 4 maybe. This one seems to be the most reasonable one. Down to earth, pretty much. Because of the way he can handle his emotions. And then we have Xen, who is a bit too, well, greedy for power almost. And Gerrel, what about Gerrel? I mean, he's basically just your normal Quarian, right? They just experience the fights with the geth. They tend to think of this as normal, and this is their status quo. This is where Gerrel lies. Yeah, and then there are others that just want to use the geth again, bring them back into servitude. And Koris wants to free them, or at least coexist with them, or whatever. It's very interesting, actually. Very, very interesting and very deep. So, let's save. Do we... is there I don't know when we will be able to switch areas in here. Oh yeah, wait a minute. One thing that I wanted to do was go back real quick. Because
With a human captain, at least it's an eloquent one.
Let's just skip back there. Maybe there's something. No. And what's written down here? It's a weird script. The writing doesn't really make sense because you only see it sometimes, right? And it's always the same word almost. But anyway, let's just pretend this might be different words. But then you have symbols, some stickers, like these ones. but they are of a different origin, human origin, one could say. This icon over here is definitely a different one. So...
Talis and her father are out of control. This is on their heads.
Can we talk with some of them?
I didn't expect a human to be such a good speaker.
Okay, Captain Kar Danna.
My father dead or trapped on the alarei? My name stripped? How could you not tell me this, Captain?
I'm sorry, Tali. I was under orders from Admiral Xen herself. I couldn't say anything. She wanted to get you onto the alarei. She said that the Admiralty Board needed to see your reactions. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
Well, the Admirals don't need to see her reaction. It's more like the crowd needs to see her reaction. And the Admirals are playing their part in the theater, right? And then they decide, depending on how the crowd reacts. So in this case, the crowd decides how the whole thing will be handled. But they decide through the interaction of the Admirals. And the Admirals take in informal feedback, one could say. They read the crowd, so to speak. And then decide on what decision might be best to keep a certain spirit inside the crowd, inside the populace. It's actually a very interesting idea of leading. It's a mix between like it's a monarchy, like totalitarian kind of ideas, where there's like one unified leader and democracy. It's not just a push-through thing like a dictatorship or whatever, but in this case it is more reasonable. It takes in feedback in a way. Very interesting. So, let's see, the Migrant Fleet's course.
Who decides where the Migrant Fleet is going?
That's a more complex question than you might think. The Conclave votes on where we're going, but the Admiralty works out how we get there safely. Avoiding areas of piracy, scheduling resupply, that sort of thing.
Don't you have any say in that?
Seems like you're cut out of the loop.
Raya has a representative in the Conclave, like every other ship. But me personally, I don't get to say in anything that happens beyond my ship's hull. If my crew doesn't like the way things are going, we're free to leave the fleet at any time. Of course, since the Raya produces about a third of the fleet's food, they try to keep us happy.
Nice. Okay, so they have the biggest hand to play here, it seems. Okay, Migrant Fleet's course, we got that. Fleet's current location.
Why is the fleet here? A binary blue giant system isn't the most hospitable place in the galaxy.
Not if you're looking for a planet to land on. We've been doing a lot of deep-range travel. The bulk of the fleet is here to charge up using photovoltaic solar cells. We're running an ice mining operation at the Red Dwarf 6 light years off. They haul it here, and we melt it for water, or crack it into deuterium, hydrogen, and oxygen.
Interesting. In this case, deuterium is the, heavier version of hydrogen. So, let's see. Guarding the Normandy.
Why'd you post guards outside our ship?
Aside from the fact that your crew is Cerberus, technically it's under quarantine. Any accidental intership contact could sicken or kill our crew.
So they just keep it on a leash and
we'll talk to you later,
good.
Captain.
Alright, can I actually go back to the... Seems to be red. Wait a minute, I can examine it? In the interest of core and security, no one may leave until the trial is complete. Okay. So you can't even go back and change the composition of the team. So before you actually go and do this mission, make sure that whoever is there to help. Tali is a ghost. Whoa. And Miranda is as well. Anyway. It's a security feature so that the NPCs are always right next to you. So, let's see. Like we are supposed to get to a shuttle, right? Where is that? It goes right and left and whatever. Which way is it? rude.
The human can work a crowd, I'll admit that much.
Okay, that's the Shuttle Guard. Wait, that's the Shuttle Guard. Alright. That one doesn't react anymore. Okay. Nothing there. Alright.
If anyone can retake the alarei, Talis Hearing can. If Talis Hearing is stuck with a human captain, at least it's an eloquent one.
Talis Hearing Vast Nima. Oh, sorry. I mean Vast Normandy.
No offense taken. The change in name was not my choice.
Per Admiral Rand's orders, the shuttle is prepared for you and Captain Shepard Vast Normandy.
Alright. Do you know what's over there?
Can you tell us anything about what we'll find on the alarei?
I'm afraid I don't know much. Not many Marines made it back from the initial assault. They talked about massive waves of geth, though. More than there should have been.
There shouldn't have been any at all.
Right. I mean that they're afraid the geth are building or repairing more of themselves from materials on the alarei.
Okay. Tali, she kind of gets emotional, riled up a little bit. But let's see. Let's hope we can stabilize that. We're not leaving yet. Yeah, not yet.
I need to do a few things before we leave.
Understood. The shuttle is here whenever you're ready to leave.
Thank you. So, and this is where we have a little cut and continue from here on out in the alarei in the next episode. Like and subscribe, of course, as usual, and ta-ta.